Welcome, Thunder community, to our Thunder Talk. Today is, Friday. Made it through another week. Next week, kids come back to school, and we're super excited for that. We're looking forward to this new year, this 2021, and hopefully that we find the normal in this year. So I'm optimistic that we will. It might take us a little bit longer to get through all these things, but I'm super optimistic. So I hope this finds you well and everything's going as good as possible. And we're excited to have kids back. It's been fun to watch open gyms going. And next Monday we start with practices. With that being said, practices, make sure that you're communicating with the coach. They will get out, kind of some times. Due to the roster limits, tryouts will be kind of in a rotational base, I think, is how they're going to run them after communicating with them. It'll be a one-day tryout. If you didn't get registered for Monday, we'll just have to pick it up next week. There's, like I said, the roster limits really limit, how many kids obviously can go out for a sport this winter. So anyway, with that, make sure you're registered, and then we're going to get rolling on Monday. I do know that Monday is a day off of school and stuff, but with a 5-week season, we got to get going. We only got 3 days, and then we start competing, within the next week. So it's just the way it is. And stuff. So as a former wrestling coach here and, for a long time in high school sports, pretty much during my season, we had practice every day that we could, just because, just to keep kids in the rhythm and stuff. So anyway, with that, start Monday. Coaches will get times out there. Remember, girls basketball and boys basketball, there'll be a little bit of a lag, like a 3:15 start for girls and a 5:15 start for boys. So just kind of be aware of that. So that's first thing is today. I'm going to talk about is the protocols for our activities, and not necessarily practices, because you don't really need to know what goes on in the practices, because I have to go over that with the coaches and things like that. And we've been in constant and continuous communications about protocols and procedures and stuff. So we all know that there's guidelines set on things like that, what we can do. There are the guidelines that are there. We have to, obviously wear masks. We have to maintain social distancing, not just with the parents or the fans or whatever, but with everybody, our essential personnel, which is the people that work the event, and then even the athletes. So it's going to look way different when you walk into gyms this year than it ever has. Sometimes you won't be able to go into a gym. There are counties that will not let us bring fans, and that's okay. So like the first right out of the chutes, we're heading to Pueblo for a wrestling match. It's like on Thursday or Friday of the 26th week or whatever, and there we can't have fans there. It's just the way it is. So the kids will go down, compete, and they'll come back. Those are just things that we have to mitigate through. And so I'm going to go through each sport, kind of what the restrictions are and what we can do, and the guidelines. And I want to say that in the fall, all of the sports, we did well with this. We didn't have problems at the gate because somebody wanted to come in and they didn't have a ticket and things like that. If you're not going to be, we're doing gate lists. That's how you get in this time. If you're not on the gate list, then please don't show up. Watch it online, because I can't let you in. And it's just the way it is this year. So please honor that, because remember, our goal is to get the kids back to competing, and we got to be grateful for those opportunities. And it's already a lot to manage with the COVID thing, even with way less fans. But so please, if you're not on the gate list, you can't. Or if there's no fans, don't show up, because no one's going to let you in and stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to start with swimming. And with swimming, because of the pool sides, the social distancing that we have to maintain for the athletes and the number of athletes that get to compete at an event, There will be no fans at swimming, and it's just the pool side. So everybody has to social distance on the pool deck. For you swimming parents that have been at Liberty, that pool deck's not very big. If you have 25 on one side, 25 on the other, that's putting kids into the stands. The next thing with that is that the spectators at any sporting event and the athletes cannot cross. So you can't go down and talk to your kid on any of these events. As soon as events are over, you have to leave. If you're waiting for your kid because you drove them and things like that, you have to wait out in the car. And if there's no fans, or even after an event, if you're luckily enough to be able to attend, then you have to wait outside. So with swimming, we cannot have fans. We're going to do our best to live stream those events. And we're going to figure it out. Now, if El Paso County and the state loosen up on some of it, then maybe towards the end we get some fans. But I know that if we have a state tournament in Denver, there will be no fans. They've already put that out there. Most of Denver, anything we do in Denver this year is no fans. There are area schools, districts around here in schools that are not having fans for the first few weeks. But swimming, we cannot have fans based on the size of the pool. So I apologize. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Got to remember though, cross country had the same rules in effect, and they were outside, based on the number of participants. They got a huge number of participants, and because of that, the places we ran and stuff said no fans. And so swimming's the same way. So I know Coach Katie's going to reach out to swimming parents to help with timing, because you would be an essential personnel. So we're going to rotate through that so you can time some events, and maybe even some away events that you're going to help at, wherever, but just know that we can't do that. I also need someone to be filming. I do have the capabilities of live streaming to our DCC YouTube. So if you want to be deemed an essential personnel and you want to run the cameras for me, or you have an iPad and a camera and you want to film it on, you please let me know. We'll talk to Coach. She'll get you in contact with me and we'll go from there. So so swimming, there's no fans. We're going to get the kids competing. And like I said, we'll do our best to live stream it. Cheer actually is into 2 seasons right now. And 2 seasons, meaning they have their competitive season, which ends March 25th. And then they have their kind of extension of their sideline for basketball right now. So right now, there will only be home cheerleaders, no away cheerleaders. There will be no fans for the cheerleaders, meaning parents, you can't come watch your kid cheer at a basketball game. I'm sorry. Those games are live streamed via our camera in the gym that's already set up through DCC YouTube. And we have to, we can have a maximum, because of the social distancing and the requirement that they have to be 10 feet off of that out of bounds line. We can only have 5 kids. We might be able to squeeze a 6th one in there, at a game. So there's one coach or the 2 coaches, and then 6 kids at a game. Coach Paxton will be talking to everybody about how that looks. And here's the deal: that we might not be cheering at every game. It's a lot, and it's whatever the coaches agree on, and what's best for the kids. Competition cheer, we're looking at how we can get some competitions in, via local competitions. We can't travel for competitions until the state tournament. The kids have to wear masks the whole time and all that. So we're looking at through the PPAC whether we have kind of a competition where the parents get to come in, watch the routine, and we do that 2 or 3 times over the next 2 months. Coach and I are talking about it. We're talking with the other ADs to see how we can kind of get some competitive stuff, season in there. But the problem is we can't put multiple schools in gyms. And that's where we're at right now. And so there, parents, won't be coming to games to watch your kids. I'm sorry. We can only cheer at the home events, and it's a limited number of kids. And we have all these social distancing things that we have to do. And those social distancings, not only do they have to social distance within their team, they also have to social distance with the other team and fans and things like that. So know that that's just how it is for cheer this year. And if things, like I said, if things get better and every, the state starts to say, hey, we can do a little more, then obviously we're going to do a little more. And so that's how it is. Coming now with basketball. So we covered swimming and cheer, basketball. Basketball, we're going to be allotted basically 24 fans or 2 fans per kid, and that's it. That's all that we're doing. And so that's for each level. So for example, we're going to start with C Squad. Our C Squad games more than likely will take place in the middle school gym because we can allot for 24 fans in there. So if you have a player that will be on the C level team, you will get 1 fan at their games. That home games should be in the middle school gym. Some of the other schools that have C Squads and when we're away, you might get 2 because of how they're doing some rotations, or they're putting them in big gyms and things like that. So we're going to run our C-level games that you're usually in the Aux gym. We're going to run them in the middle school gym. There might be a few games we have to do in the Aux gym just based on middle school gym, what's in there and things like that, and we have to make sure we're honoring the middle school as well. But and so if we do play a C-level basketball game in our Aux gym, there will be no fans. But right now the plan is to have use the middle school gym for C-level games, and every player, both home and away, will get 1 fan. So that means that will be a maximum of 24 people in the middle school gym to watch basketball. Obviously, there'll be stickers on seats, all that stuff, to sit, all that. We'll do our best to live stream those, but with multiple events every night. In 5 weeks, we got like 70 events to get done, and so it's going to be tough, and camera people and all that. So that's C level. JV and varsity games, which at home are at 4 and 6 o'clock. Somebody asked me the other day, why are they 2 hours apart? We have a 30-minute cleaning frenzy where after the JV game we have to get everybody out of the gym, and we have to clean it. We have to sit for 30, and then we can put the varsity back in there. So, but at varsity and JV games, you will be at our home event, and at most away events, you'll get two fans per kid, and so that's it. There won't be any more. You get 2 fans per kid. Everybody will have to be on a gate list. So the coaches will put the gate list together. So and that's it. You'll social distance if you are, family members, you can sit together, but then those family members with other family members have to socially distance. The gym will be set up. Fans will be on the far side this year away from the players because they have to be a minimum of 25 feet away from the players. So the fans will be on one side. There'll be a section in the middle that we can't have people. So the visitors and the away and the home stay, kind of away from everybody or each other. And we have to social distance, wear a mask. So you'll get 2 for that. That's it. There are some, for example, boys basketball goes to Pueblo. And in Pueblo, they are not allowing for away fans. They're not. And so it's just their home fans. Actually, only fans that are in Pueblo County can go. That's it. No, anybody outside the county cannot come. So that's us. We're in El Paso County. So I'm just saying that for the playoffs, if we make playoffs in boys or girls, and if we travel, it's like 3/4 of the state isn't allowing for fans. We're fortunate that El Paso County Health says that, let's try to do this safely and let some people watch. We also believe that we don't know how many games everybody's going to get or matches or events. So, we want you to see. We're going to live stream our JV and varsity games via DCC YouTube. They're going to be live streamed. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there won't be sound. And I'm sorry about that, but it will be, the best for that we get to at least watch the kids and things like that. So 2 per JV and varsity kid. Some things with that is that the C-level kids cannot watch, and C-level parents can't come up to the gym because we have a maximum in the gym. you got to look at every game as independent of each other. So in the past, JV players would stay and watch varsity players, girls would stay and watch boys, things like that. It can't happen. Everybody's got to leave. So when we clear out the game after a JV game, the kids need to go home. They're not going to be allowed. You're not going to be allowed to bring younger siblings in. It's just who's on the gate list, and that's it. So just prepare everybody now. I'm going to talk to the kids next week after tryouts are done, just with these same protocols, but I'm just preparing you now. So now we're moving to wrestling. And so wrestling, in the big gym, we can only put one mat down. Everybody's asking, well, how are we doing JV and varsity? So this year, JV will wrestle in the Ox gym at 6 o'clock, and varsity will wrestle in the main gym at 6 o'clock. There's some weigh-in things that we still have to go through, which makes it really hard to have JV go first and then followed by varsity, because we have that 30-minute cleaning. So we just thought the best scenario for us at Discovery Canyon at home events is we will wrestle JV in the Ox gym. If you have a JV wrestler, you will get one, because how wrestling sets up different than basketball, you will get one fan in the Ox gym. You will enter through the Ox gym doors. You'll have separate exits, all that. You will not be able to float over to the high school or to the varsity in the main gym. Just won't. The varsity matches will be broadcast. We are going to try to broadcast all of our, not all, but we're going to try to broadcast as many of the events as we can, like I said, and that includes for JV. I'm borrowing some cameras and stuff from the USA Wrestling that are for wrestling, and so I'm going to see if we can get those to work through our system and stuff like that. But in the main gym, we'll have the huddle camera, just like we do for basketball. It'll be on DCC YouTube. You'll be set. So varsity members, you'll get 2 fans per kid, just 2, no more. And so I know that friends and families and things like that, and we have some faithful followers of all of our sports that just love to come to sports, which is super cool. This year we just can't have that. So anyway, you get 2 fans. You'll setup is very similar to the basketball, and we'll set it and then we'll run. So 2 per wrestling in the big gym, 1 in the Ox gym. And then for our quads on Saturday, so we do have a few quads. They are super tricky to run because of the multi-school events type deal. And so if on a Saturday when we are hosting a quad here at Discovery Canyon, for the JVs, they will wrestle in the middle school gym. And when they wrestle in the middle school gym, there will be no fans. Okay, so Saturday morning quads at DCC for JV, there will be no fans. The reason is we have that barrier of how many we can have in a gym. We can only put 1 mat in the gym because there can only be 2 teams competing at one time, only 3 coaches. I mean, and they all have to be 6 feet apart, and then we got to clean down everything. So JV, there will be no fans on Saturdays. We will live stream that as best we can, and that's here at Discovery Canyon. For the varsity duels, that will happen in the Ox gym and the main gym. There will be 2 teams in the Ox gym, and there will be 1 team and 2 teams in the main gym. With that being said, we will keep Discovery Canyon wrestlers in the main gym for those quads, which means you will get to bring 2 fans per kid for our quads. The away teams are only going to bring 1 because of our capacity limits and the Ox gym. So they only get 1 on away. And for away fans when they come in to wrestle on Saturday mornings, and then the varsity will get our home will get 2. So I know this video is a little longer than anticipated, but I think those are important things that people have to understand. Know that there are more than just spacing people out that I have to manage in order to make sure these events go off without a hitch. And remember, the goal is to get our kids back playing as well as as keeping the virus at bay, so we can continue for the next 6 weeks of this seasons and stuff. So we're going to do our best to live stream everything. We're going to do our best to those are lower level games, matches, swimming meets. We're going to do our best on all of that. Know that coaches are going to reach out to you. I have asked the coaches that at their first meet, whether it's home or away, to let's do their senior night. Know that senior nights are different. If you were at football games and things like that, parents cannot walk with kids at senior night. They will be on the floor. They'll say what they want to say, and then at the very end, when everybody leaves, we can set up for seniors only with their parents to maybe have some photo ops. But there's no crossing over. Once we start the activities, you can't go up and give your kid a high five and say, "Hey, I want you to do good," or whatever. Those things can't happen. We can't cross. As soon as the events are over, you guys need to leave immediately. This year, there's no hanging out. Just pick up your stuff, leave, talk to your kid when you get home, and things like that. I'm super sorry. It doesn't make it as personable and as fun, but it does allow us to get these kids back on the competition trail. So I'm super excited for that. Thank you for all your support. And as we get through this, I do truly appreciate everything. Our coaches, our athletes, our parents, the community. And we're going to get through this, and we're going to watch kids play, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much, and have a great weekend, Thunder.